Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay, let me bring the MIG guide. Okay, so we're continuing our discussion on chapter 3, which is Karma Yoga. We have already done the first two sections, which was renunciation of work or work in devotion. The second was from Karma Kanda to Karma Yoga. Now we're in the third section, which is the actual Karma Yoga, performing prescribed duties, work in detachment to set an example. So last week, we started from this famous work, 321, Yad Yad Ajrati Sheshras. Anyone would like to do a quick revision on this one? Amrit Prabhu reading notes.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Would you like to
Shall I
say?
start? Yeah.
Yeah, you can, Prabhu.
Uh, Whatever action is performed by a great man, common men follow in his footsteps, and whatever standards he sets by his exemplary acts, all the world pursues. So, yad yad acharati shrishthas, whatever acharati means whatever the action that is performed, shrishthas mean the leader. Tat tat eva taro janaha. That all things, tat tat eva taro means certainly the common men follow. Sah yat pramanam kurute, which means pramanam means the standards that the leader has set, kurute. Lokas tad anuvartate. Lokas means all the men follow. Anuvartate means in the footsteps.
Very nice. All word to word, nice translation. No, it's good. This is how we should read the verse. So we should try, just try to understand each word and then take help from the synonyms, and then you will be able to understand the words better. Then obviously we can take further guidance from the purport, what Prabhupada is trying to give a message. So Amrit Prabhu, what's the message here?
The message is that we should perform in Bhakti Yoga and set the standard for all the men. And even Krishna says in the later verses that he has to perform the duty even though he is not attached or does not want anything from the all the three worlds. But he does so that he is setting an example. And if that person does not do so, then everybody will follow in the footsteps. For example, in the Yajna of Prithu Maharaj, Indra Dev dressed as a sannyasi. So since he was the heavenly demigod, everybody nowadays in the Kali Yuga following in his footsteps. Uh, so this is the meaning of the verse.
Is this verse valid in today's context, Rajesh Prabhu? Or is just an old verse? 5,000 years ago it was valid, not anymore.
It's very much valid, Prabhu.
Is valid?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah,
This was written
100%.
5,000 years ago. Can you give an example of a um, modern example for this verse? That this verse
More
still applies in our life.
like last week we talked about an example of the film stars copying film stars.
Yes, it's pretty
Also
common,
talk
isn't
about
it?
timeline.
People talk in their way, people walk in their way, people dress in their way, and just so
Hairstyle.
hairstyle. So whatever leader, so if the leader become a devotee, and we have a devotee leader or a raja which is follower of the Vedic culture, then everyone will follow that. Amrit Prabhu was giving the example of Prathu Maharaj. So he gave the example of Indra basically. But if you look at the example of Prathu Maharaj's personal life, he set up such a high standard, and all the citizens were following that. You take the example of Yudhishthir Maharaj, for example, when he became the king, Ram Rajya. Mm. So everyone was looking up to the leader of the society, and Lord Ram had to give up Mother Sita just because of the social things. Although it had many, many other reasons as well. But just looking, because Lord Ram wanted to set a very, very high example. He's known as Maryada Purushottam, because he said, if I do a mistake, then what will people follow? Okay. Thank you. So everyone understands this is a very, very, very relevant verse. And who is the leader? Lakshmi Mataji. Can you give the definition of a leader and some examples? So Rajesh Prabhu already gave one example, film stars are the leader. Who else are the leaders of the society? Or who are the leaders just in general?
For
Politicians.
example, the Prime Minister.
Prime Minister is a
Prime
leader.
Minister
Okay.
Modi, so
He's a leader.
everybody follows. Yeah.
Yes, very nice. Any other leaders you know of besides Prime
Parents,
Minister?
our parents.
In
Your
the
parents, Keshav, Prabhuji?
in the Western society, especially, we can take Srila Prabhupada as a true leader. So
Srila
he just
Prabhu is a true
transformed
leader.
the whole world.
Okay, perfect. Ayush Prabhu, do you know any other leaders besides all these what Prabhujis and Matajis are saying?
Yeah, Keshav Prabhu gave a very pure answer, but unfortunately, in Western society, most of the leaders are celebrities or singers, pop stars, or people
Yeah.
like that.
Okay. I'll reframe my question. I'm not asking the names here right now. I'm saying who are all the leaders? Like if you can give a definition here, not the
Guru,
names. Guru is a leader. Okay. More.
someone who can chastise you.
Someone who can chastise you. Okay. He's a leader.
Someone
Acharyas.
in a
People in
Acharyas.
position of power, bro.
People in position of power. Okay.
business
Okay.
tycoons.
Business cycles. Okay. Let's look at the word leader. One who leads.
Leads
Last
by
time
You
we
are
example.
also
also
dis- last time
you
we
are
also
also a
discussed
leader.
about the quality of the mentor. I hope you are not pointing to that particular point, Prabhuji. So
I'm saying anyone who leads is a leader. Even you
So,
are a leader. So your parents are leader, okay? But you are also a leader for your kids, isn't it? Your kids will see you acting in a certain way. And it says kids don't listen what you say. Kids listen what they see.
Okay,
So kids
exactly.
listen what they see. So if they see something which is not matching to your words, what they will follow? Your words or action?
action.
Kids will copy your words or action?
Action, bro.
Action.
Action. So we also are leaders. Everyone is a leader. And last week, I think we were discussing, I heard in a class that even an introvert person impacts how many people in society, Mohan Prabhu? Introvert person. Last week we discussed
10,000.
10,000.
Very good.
Introvert. What to speak of a person who's outgoing, especially all these book distributors are here in the call. Huh? They go out. And every one of us, we go to work, we speak with other people. So, how many people we can impact? So, we are all leaders. We have to understand this verse is not only for Narendra Modi and Srila Prabhupada, which is definitely there. They impact obviously larger number of groups. We also impact others. So, where should we start the journey? From Narendra Modi only? Where should we start the journey from? That's my question.
From ourselves, bro.
From ourselves. Gandhiji said, if you want to see a change in the world, start from
Yes.
ourselves. So this verse definitely applies for the leaders, but it's very applicable for all of us because our actions are also seen. You may impact 5 people, for example, may not be able to impact 500,000 people, but those 5 people in front of those 5, you can set up the right example. And the best example we have to set up for Krishna. Krishna, I'm trying to reform myself. Trying. I may fail. I fail so many times, but I'm trying. So please take this verse to be applicable for in your own family, in your own community, in your own workplace, because you are a leader. And if you don't follow the right things, then what will happen? It will not be very pleasing to the Lord and Guru, spiritual master. So this verse is relevant from top to bottom. We being the bottommost, for example, it still applies on all of us. So our acharan should be very shrestha, very, very superior. It says, I don't care how much you know. I want to know how much you care. Huh? You heard this? So if you are very, very knowledgeable, you know all the Shastras and Puranas, you can quote verse left, right, and center. But your acharan behavior is not good. Ayush Prabhu, will it be a good example?
No.
In debate, you can defeat 30,000 people. That's fine. Any examples from Chetan Charitamrita, Ayush Prabhu, you remember?
Keshav Kashmiri.
अरे बोले सारे एग्जाम्पल मुंह पे याद है did he could he impress the Lord with his shastrarth, with debate capacity? No. So with the gyan, with debate capacity, with our any material skill, we may be able to impress few people for some time, but that doesn't really matter actually. So we have to come down on the spiritual platform and try to do the right thing, every single thing, and we will fail. That's not a problem. We are in conditioned state at the moment, but there's a constant trial to improve ourselves, and then this verse will be speaking through us as well. Okay, 322. Who wants to do this in my screen? Okay, we'll start from Anand Prabhuji. Prabhu, you're on mute.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
O son of Pratha, there is no work described for me within all the three planetary systems, nor am I in want of anything, nor have I a need to obtain anything, and yet I am engaged in prescribed duties. So here Krishna is speaking to Arjuna about kartavyam, which is prescribed duty, and kartavya in the three worlds, that is Trishu Lokeshu. Kinchana means any, and anavaptam and avaptam. Avaptavyam. So he neither wants anything nor there is anything for him to gain, but still he does his prescribed duty, karmani. So he's always engaged in doing his prescribed duty, even though he need not, he does not require anything in terms of any wants or any desires. Also that he is not obliged to do anything, but yet because of his position that others will need to follow, he does his prescribed duties when he comes to this planet.
Yeah, thank you. So because Krishna is saying, I also have to set up an example, so I cannot not do my duties. Now, which Krishna we are talking in this particular verse? Who can say? Garima Mata. So Krishna is saying, I also have an example. Now Krishna, again, debating with you guys, dancing with gopis. So is this setting up the example? Which,
No, in
sorry,
the
people ask this question.
Dwarkadish.
Vrindavan Krishna.
So Sanjay Prabhu is saying Vrindavan Krishna is setting up an example, and
Dwarka.
Garima Mata is saying Dwarkadish is setting an example. So option 1, Garima Mataji's answer. Option 2, Sanjay Vyas Prabhu's answer. Option C, none of these are correct.
Sorry,
Option
Dwarkadish
one.
Krishna is engaged in prescribed duties. Sorry.
So Krishna is not engaged in prescribed duties. Sanjay Vyas Prabhu, Vrindavan Krishna, he's stealing. He's stealing the clothes, he's stealing the butter, he's dancing, this and that. What are you talking? Sanjay Vyas Prabhu, how would you answer that question in the relation to verse 322? You understand my question, Prabhuji? Sorry, I'm just trying to open everyone's mind here.
I understand the question, just don't know the answer.
Don't know the answer. Okay, no problem. Garima Mata, can you answer Sanjay Prabhu, please?
Because I think in Vrindavan, Krishna was doing only leelas.
No, I think. Tell me the right answer.
My point of view is
Yes.
Krishna is doing leelas, but in Dwarka, he was the king and he was doing his duties, taking care
Yes.
of the Rajya and parents and everything.
Yeah. So this verse is spoken where? On the battlefield of Kurukshetra. That time he's a Dwarkadhish. So Shyam Krishna or Vrindavan Krishna is not speaking this verse. Vrindavan is the land of love. Now, within your family, do you also do that? Like, even the big child will go into mama's lap, mama will hug them. It says, Devaki Mata, when she saw Krishna at the age of 11, 10 year, 8 months old, um her eyes are filled with tears, and the breast milk started coming out for an 11-year-old child. And it says in Bhagavatam later, actually, when Krishna even was 125 years old, he will still go and hug Mama, and Mama's breast milk will come out. So, Mama, in front of Mama, is he a god? In front of Devki Mata Rishoda Maya? No, he is not. Huh? So, when the realm of love comes, then there is nothing like setting up an example. When he's the Dwarkadhish, then the situation is very, very different. So, Vrindavan Leelas, where he is Purna Purushottam Bhagwan, we cannot compare for the normal people. So, this Leela, this verse is talking about the Dwarkadhish Krishna, which is not Vrindavan Krishna. Sanjay Vyas Prabhu, is that okay? Because people ask these sort of questions, how do you take example from that Leela of Krishna? So that's a different thing. That's a advertisement campaign of Golok Vrindavan. Okay, let's move forward. 323. Yeah, this is also very nice. Who wants to do this? Priya Mataji, would you like to do this?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna.
for if I ever fail to engage in carefully performing prescribed duties, O Partha, certainly all men will follow my path. So as we have this in the previous verses, we said like Krishna is doing all those prescribed duties because all the living entities or all of the other people we all follow in his examples, like how we follow the leaders. That's why um for if I ever felt it. So that's why he said that if he ever failed to do all his duties, all of the men will do the same thing too.
And he is the biggest leader, isn't it?
Yeah, he is the
He's the
supreme
supreme
leader.
personality of Godhead. Who can be better leader than Krishna? So he has to set up the right example. When he comes as Ram, even when Krishna, he does the things which other manusha, other humans can follow while he is there and after he leaves. Huh? That's why Lord performs so many leelas in so many ways so that others can follow. If Lord Ram does not perform the leela of Ramayana, he could kill Ravan in 2 seconds, isn't it? He'll just switch off his heartbeat. Ravan will be dead. He doesn't have to come. Sita Maya, it says, Sita Maya was much more powerful than Ravan. Anyone knows the example? How Sita Maya was much more powerful than Ravan himself? Anyone? It says Sita Maya could lift the bow, which Ravan could not. Sita Maya, when she was only 5 years old, she could lift the bow from her left hand. And there are multiple versions of the story. Someone said the ball went inside the table where the bow was kept. So Sita Maya lifted the bow, took the ball out. Another story says, Sita Maya was playing with her friends outside in a garden, and in some tree there were some flowers which they really liked, but the flowers were really far. So Sita Maya could not find a long enough stick in the garden. Sometimes we take a stick and shake the flower tree, and the flowers come down. So Sita Maya went inside and picked up the bow, Lord Shiva's bow. 5-year-old girl. She picked up the bow, she came out, shook the tree, got all the flowers, and put the bow back. One of the ministers was watching this Leela, and he was completely shocked. This bow could only be lifted by 8,000 Kshatriyas. They will lift it together, walk for 3 steps, and they have to put the bow down. They will lift it again, walk 3 steps, and put the bow down. This is how the bow was carried actually from Lord Janak's palace to the Yagyashala, where the Dhanush Yagya was performed. So when the mantri saw this scene, he was completely shocked. He went to Maharaj Dashrath and he said, "This is what I saw." And you know what Dashrath Maharaj said to this mantri? He said, "Are you drunk? Are you drunk? Are you in senses? A 5-year-old child can lift the Shiv Dhanush." And he said, "Definitely, you can ask Mother Sita as well." So Sita was called by Janak Maharaj, and Sita thought, my papa is going to chastise me. And he said, "Did you take the Dhanush?" Janak Maharaj asked. Sita Devi said, "I took the Dhanush, Papa, but I put it back." And Janak Maharaj didn't know what to say here. and then he proposed this condition of her marriage. At least the person who's going to get married to Sita, at least he should have ability to lift the bow. You understand? Because if the Kanya is so powerful and the Vara is not able to match the power of the Kanya, what will happen if Sita Mata embraces the Var? She will make chutney of that Var in one embrace. So Janak Maharaj thought the least qualification of the Vara should be that he should be able to lift the bow. That's how actually this whole thing came about. So Ravan also tried, you know, this pastime. Ravan tried a lot. He could not lift the bow. Sita Maya at the age of 5 could lift the bow. So who is more powerful, Ravan or Sita? Sita. Now, when can Ravan kidnap Sita? Technically can't. It's not possible. Sita Mata will just give one slap to Ravan. Ravan will fly back in Lanka. One little slap of Sita Mata was good enough. But if Sita Mata slapped Ravan, we will not be sitting here and doing some Ram Katha or Sita Katha. So this is why Sita and Ram combined together, just performing Leela. They are saying, okay, beta kar lo. And anyway, Rama did not take real Sita anyway. It was just a Maya Sita. Anyway, the point of the story is Lord Ram, Mother Sita, Krishna, all the different incarnations, they come here and they perform their duties as they are a normal human being, completely normal human being. Sita is helplessly crying in the palace of Ravan. Oh Ram, when are you coming? When are you going to come and rescue me? Huh? So all these things are just nar leela, nothing much, nothing much. It's like, just like a drama, but he's performing drama in such a way so later people can follow me. So that's why he's always performing his duties. And the word here is very nice. I like atandritaha. Tandra means nidra, sona, sleeping. We all like sleeping. Atandritaha, without sleeping, without lethargy, without any gaps. Krishna is performing his prescribed duties very, very nicely, very, very nicely. I think we discussed about an example of Narad Muni visiting Dwarka, which is in 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Wherever he went, in whichever palace Narad Muni went, he saw Krishna is doing something. And different palaces, the time zones were also different. So Krishna is not only beyond space, he is beyond time as well. But every single palace, Krishna was doing something or other for his family, for the citizens, for the Brahmanas, even meditation on himself. So he was doing something. So Krishna is teaching us how to live our life nicely through his own example. Okay, text 24. Okay, we'll leave that one. Okay, one word is important here. Who wants to do this one? Quick one we can do. Anyone? Or I'll go on my screen. Okay, Priya Mata is an Amrit Prabhu. You are the next one on my screen.
Okay. As the ignorant perform their duties with attachment to results, similarly the learned may also act, but without attachment, for the sake of leading people on the right path. So, sakta karmani avidvamso. Sakta means being attached. Karmani karma. Avidvamso, the ignorant. The ignorant are performing their duties attached. Yatha
With
kuruvanti
attachment.
bharata with attachment, yes.
Yeah.
So yatha kurvanti bharata in the Bharat. Kuryat vidvams tata shaktas. You should do the
This is
work,
asakta.
but tatha ashakta, without attachment.
Yes, that's right.
Chikirsu yoga sangraham, so that you can lead the people in the right path.
Yeah. So what's the message here, Prabhu? So there are two categories described, Vidwan and Avidwan. What's the basis of that categorization? Attachment or detachment?
Attachment.
So
Yes.
asakta
So
or sakta and asaktaha.
yes.
So if
So
you're
the
Vidwan, how would you act? Vidwans, how would you act?
without attachment.
Asaktaha. And if you are Avidwan, then you'll be acting as saktaha or asaktaha. So if we are acting from asakta platform, who are we?
Leonard.
Learned? When we are acting on the platform of asakti, attachment,
Asakti.
who are we? Vidwan or Avidwan?
Abidwan.
Avidwan, right? So most of us working in the attached platform, as per Bhagavad Gita, I'm not saying it. If you have a problem, talk to Krishna, not to me. Um, we are avidwan. We are not very vidwan. Huh? So we have to perform our duties at least, the word here used at least with detachment. Huh? So we don't get the feeling of doership. And why we are doing that? Chikrsha Lok Sangram, desiring to lead the people in general, because people in general will look at you. So we just try to become Vidwan by
Yeah,
having
Prabhu.
detachment. Yes,
Prabhu, I had
Prabhuji.
like a small comment.
Sure, Prabhu.
Uh, is this verse also like talking about bhakti? Because like when we attended Ghanshyam Prabhu's class, he said that even Nishkarma bhakti is like attached to the work.
Yep.
So here also it's saying that sakta karmani, which means being attached to the prescribed duty. So
Yep.
like maybe Krishna is also glimpsing that you have to perform bhakti rather than just nishkam karma yoga.
Yeah. So not yet, Amrit Prabhu, we are getting closer to it, and Krishna
Okay.
is just coming to bhakti. At this stage, he's just talking about work in a detachment mode, which is Nishkam Karma Yoga. So we'll look in verse 30. What you're saying is just coming up, Prabhu. So Krishna will
Okay.
start hinting about bhakti. We'll talk about it today, Prabhu. Yeah. When this verse itself, no, there is no hint. It's just working in Nishkam Karma Yoga, Prabhu. So keep
Okay.
performing your duty, but in a detached way. That's the message.
Okay.
Keshav Prabhuji, you have a question?
Quick question on this, Prabhu. The duties and the karmas that I mean the verse is explaining here. So these karma are actually referring to karma, karma or bikarma, both karma
Okay.
and bikarma attached to this kind of
Yeah.
category.
Okay. So if you read Prabhupada translation, karmani refers to prescribed duties. We'll talk about 4 types of karma little later. So what
Okay.
you're saying is true. It will come in chapter 4. You're all reading very nicely. I'm so happy to hear these questions because you're going ahead, which is good. Everyone should do that. Huh? Then we can relate the Bhagavad Gita verses very, very nicely. So Prabhu, Keshav Prabhu, short answer to your question. In this verse, karma refers to prescribed duties. Hmm? And karma can have other levels of meanings as well. Okay, let's do 26. Okay, leave that one. Let's do 27. This is a very, very famous verse. Who wants to do this? This is very, very applicable to all of us.
I can do it, bro.
Yes, please.
So, the spirit soul bewildered by the influence of false ego thinks himself the doer of activities that are actually carried out by the 3 modes of material nature. So, prakriti kriya manani, that means prakriti, material nature, is kriya means action. So, prakritik, material nature, is the one who's performing action. Karmani sarvasya, that everything sarvasya, all activities are converted, are performed karmani by guna, the 3 modes of material nature, rajas, sattva, and tamas. Ahankara Vimudatma. Ahankara means false ego. Vimudatma means Vimud is the bewildered or foolish. So the foolish soul, Atma, the foolish Atma, the bewildered soul, in his false ego, Kartaham iti manyate. Karta aham means that he thinks that he is the performer. Iti manyate. This he believes. He thinks that I am the performer. So Prakriti. So basically, the material nature, the 3 modes of material nature are the ones that are making all of us perform actions. But due to ahankar, due to false ego, the bewildered atma, the bewildered soul, thinks that kartaham iti mani. They think that I'm the performer.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice. Can you give some examples, Aish Prabhu, of this? Is this correct? Just example, just for normal people to understand.
As in like from
How
Shastra.
people think I am the doer. Just give a very simple example, Prabhu.
So
Any.
for example, somebody is they work very hard to get something, but they don't know that ultimately the results are provided by Krishna. There's, I think, a verse in Gita also which says the different elements which are required for getting any result, and ultimately it's given that the Supreme Lord is the one who gives the sanction for any result. So
Yeah, that's
they
1323. Updrashta Mantacha Bharta Bhukta Maheshwara. So that's Anumati covers, okay? Um, any example, like if someone wins I don't know, tennis championship, for example, and they go like, yeah, got it. You see their faces, huh? Someone bowls someone, huh? They feel like, wow. Anytime they get any glorious things done, and everyone sort of claps them, appreciates them, likes them, this and that. They think, yes, I am the doer. Ash Arthur, a famous tennis player, and many of you would know about him. So he won the Wimbledon championship actually, but just after that, maybe 1 or 2 years later, he got some very unique disease. What had happened before the championship, he had injured himself, and some blood transfusion has to be done. So he was given a wrong blood basically, and that became, I think, hepatitis B or something, and then it was a terminal disease. So when he was about to die, he was very young, very, very famous. He had so many followers. He was asked this question: why God did this to you? Why God this did this to you? So he gave a very beautiful reply actually, and I heard this in the lectures itself. Very beautiful reply. He said, in the whole world, 50 million people, 50 million people start playing tennis. Out of 50 million, only 5 million go and learn from a professional tennis coach. Out of 5 million, only 500,000 enter into some sort of, trophy or championship. Out of 500,000, only 50 end up in Wimbledon. And in 50, only 4 goes to quarter final, 2 goes to final, and 1 wins the cup. So when 1 wins the cup, his odds are 1 versus 50 million people, isn't it? And he says, when I won the cup, I did not ask the God, why me? I did not ask the God, why me? So when God has given me this, why should I ask God, why me? You understood the message? So he was fully confident in the acts of God. He said, when I won the Wimbledon, I did not say God. I did not ask God. So when we get the glories, do we ask, Krishna, Gopinath, why have you chosen me for the glories? Then we never look at Gopinath, or hardly look at the Gopinath. When someone blames us, we immediately go, Gopinath, why this is happening to me? I'm such a good person. Why people are misunderstanding me or misrepresenting me and this and that? So when the good thing comes in life, generally the tendency of a conditioned soul is to forget Krishna and take all the glory. And when any smallest bad thing comes, we look at the Lord. It's good you look at the Lord and seek guidance. But the point is, many times we forget that many good things happen with us as well. And then we don't give credit to God or credit to others. But when a bad thing happens, we start blaming either a human or God or some demigods or Mangal, Rahu, Shani, and all that. That should not happen. So the point of this verse is, if we are thinking we are the only doer, yes, you are a doer. How many total doers are there?
3.
5. 5 doers are there. We'll talk about it. So far, Bhagavad Gita has explained how many? So far. So total 5, which will come in 18th chapter. So far, how many? Yes, someone said 3. Can you explain who are the 3 doers so far?
So Prem, Jeva, and Prakriti.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah.
So these 3 are there. So in this, if I'm thinking I'm the only doer, that's like a childish thing. If some child is trying to, ride a bicycle or something, mama is holding from one side and papa is holding from other side, and child saying, yeah, 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 I can ride, I can ride, I can ride. Now what if the mama and papa both leaves from each side? Child will fall down. It's very, very childish. So we may desire something, but Supreme Lord approves it and Prakriti executes it. Then only we get the result. So why should we forget Supreme Lord and the Prakriti? If that's what happens, so this verse is saying you are Vimudhatma. Mudha means Murkha, and Vimudha means Vishesh Murkha. So you are a Vishesh Murkha category person because you are thinking, I am the doer. So whenever we get the credit, that's why we take the credit and then give it to our superiors, our guru, spiritual master, or Krishna, because they are the one who have trained us, who have allowed us to do that seva, and they are the one who should get all the credit, because if they were not there, we'll not be able to perform that seva. So all the credit should go to our seniors, to spiritual master and Krishna. And do seniors keep the credit? They will also not keep the, they will give to their seniors. If you offer something to your Guru Maharaj, what he's going to do? He's going to offer to his Guru Maharaj, his Guru Maharaj is going to offer to his Guru Maharaj. Finally, the kheer, for example, will go to Radha Rani, and Radha Rani will offer it to Krishna. And that's how Krishna will accept. Do you think Krishna will accept from our hand? Never. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, unless you are Lakpati, I will not accept even a drop of water. This is written in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So you're all Lakpati or no? I know some are करोड़पति as well. Here, कौन बनेगा करोड़पति? सारे करोड़पति है. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say, unless you are Lakhpati. What does Lakhpati mean? Yes, Prabhu? 1 लाख रुपए वो तो प्रभु की जेब में पड़ा रहता है ऐसे ही कैश 1 लाख What does lakpati mean?
1 लाख नाम जपना दिन में।
1 लाख नाम जपना. Thank you, Hari Gopal Prabhu. He's a true devotee. Huh? So we are not counting your dollars and pounds and whatever else. Huh? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is counting how many names you are taking. So Hari Gopal Prabhu, you take 1 lakh naam every day, minimum. No, Hari bol. Hari. Why? How many names? Minimum, I'm saying, not maximum.
तो 16 माला बस,
16
उसके
माला,
ऊपर
which
शायद और थोड़ा एक्स्ट्रा हो जाता है इधर
थोड़ा
उधर।
extra, huh? Which roughly equals to 27,000 names, huh?
हाँ,
So now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's statement and our Guru Maharaj's statement, is it contradictory? Someone can say that? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said 64 mala, 1 lakh. And Hari Gopal Prabhu is saying 27,000 chalega. How to understand this? Anyone? Hari Gopal Prabhu, you only explained.
sorry Prabhu, what is the question?
The question is, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying you should be Lakhpati, 1
Yeah.
lakh name, as you said. But we are only 27,000 Pati. How do we understand this gap? Why we are not following 1 lakh name system, but we are still serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
Prabhu, the balance is exempted by Srila Prabhupada,
Haribol.
Guru Prabhupada.
Our Guru Parampara has given us a bit low standard because they know we are so down. We will not be able to follow that Lakpati standard. They said, okay, you just follow a quarter. But Prabhupada said, no less than 16. No less than 16. Prabhupada first said 64 and devotees came back to him. Prabhupada, we have to do so many sevas. Prabhupada said, okay, 32. 32 round you have to do. They went back and they went back again to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 32 is too much. Prabhupada said, okay, 16 and no less. And Krishna cannot deny the promise of his pure devotee. And Prabhupada says, if you chant 16 rounds, follow 4 regs, I will personally come and drag you back to Godhead. He did not say take you back to Godhead. He said drag you back to Godhead because we don't want to go to Godhead. So Prabhupada said, I will come and personally drag you back. So he has made a statement. Krishna will never allow his devotee statement to become a lie. He will never do that. Huh? He will allow his own statement to become lie, but not his devotee statement. So that's why, by Prabhupada's mercy, by our Guru Maharaj's mercy, we are still doing a little sadhana, not a very high standard sadhana, but still we are going to get the highest result because Guru Maharaj is going to fill up that gap. Thank you, Hari Gopal Prabhu. Definition of Lakpati. Okay, Keshav Prabhuji, you have any questions or comments?
I'll just try to make one short example here, Prabhuji. I was just
Sure.
watching Amarendra Prabhuji's class, I think it's a month back or something.
Yeah.
Exactly, I just remember that example. So the how they build it by the false ego. You was just giving an example like he's based on US. So there was one devotee who got sick and he was hospitalized definitely, and then the Guru Maharaj just went to hospital to see the devotee. And he thanked the doctor. Maharaj actually thanked the doctor. Thanks for for the treatment, blah blah things. And the doctor said, no. Finally, Guru need to come to doctor as well. So as a typical example, mundane example, he just give. So finally, it's not the Krishna or the Lord who is just giving his me, it's my medicine is making him kind of better. Then he said, no, the God actually give a mindset so that, that kind of mindset that you are able to perform that duty, that just thinking that way. Then there was kind of a little bit of discussion. Then Maharaj actually just asked one question in return to the doctor, and the whole scenario got changed. So, doctor, any patient in your clinic just died or passed away? He said, yes. Then what medicine did you give him to kill? If your medicine is just making him, alive, then what medicine give you to kill him? Then actually, after I will not go into that detail, the
Yeah.
story just went to a very wrong way.
Very well. Such a nice question, huh? So all the patients should get well. No one should die. Doctors think I'm a doer, I can treat anyone, any disease. But then, wow, very nice question. Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing that. Very nice example we can relate with. Supriya Mataji?
Prabhuji, I have no question, but just want to say sorry because I finished late shift, so joined late. Please do not mark me as absent.
No, Mata, all good, all good.
And
Okay,
second thing is, sorry, Prabhu, sorry to interrupt you.
please.
Second thing is, today is I got initiation.
Haribol.
So this is the 8th year. I got it in Radhapal Sathi Mandir in 2017. So please pray for me.
So today
I'm
you got
not as
second
good as
initiation, Mataji? Second initiation?
no, Prabhu. I'm not thinking about it.
Okay.
It's an anniversary, Prabhu, I believe.
Oh, okay. Anniversary. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah,
Any
yeah.
anniversary of the initiation. Okay. Sorry.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
Prabhu.
All glories
So
to you
please
and
bless
your
me.
spiritual master. All devotees are already blessing you, Mata. You should also bless us, Mata. You are senior Vaishnavi. You should also bless all of us.
No, Prabhuji. I'm not at that level. Acharya Nishtha Prabhuji and others, if I see, I'm not at that level.
We're all very good Vaishnavas. Sanjay Vyas Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, a quick question because we were discussing chanting. So, Prabhuji, so I understand that if we are chanting nicely, then the desire to chant more should be there. So if you're chanting 16 rounds, there, if you're doing it properly, ideally there should be a desire to do more chanting. But the mind does not want to do that. So when 16 happens, the mind thinks about, okay, I mean, even if one were to be engaged in service, one thinks about all the others, like I think about all the other services I can do, but I don't think about chanting more after 16. But then some devotees say the effect of chanting should be you want to chant more. So yeah, so just
Yeah.
like open-ended question, but
Yeah.
just
So, Prabhu, it really depends. Prabhu, we are all on the journey. Suppose a kid is going to a kindi, even after 5 years, if we ask him, do you like studies, especially in India, in year 5, does he like to study? I studied for, I don't know, 20 years. I still don't like studies, especially the college and school ones, never. Shastra is okay. So, probably we are all on a journey. So, if something is not happening now, it doesn't mean it will not happen. We are all diseased in different degrees. Keshav was giving the example of doctor and patient. Some patients are really severely injured. They will need longer treatment. They have to stay in the hospital for a long time. Some people come and they go out in 2 days, for example. So we're all in different degrees, Prabhuji, conditions. So we cannot compare chanting should lead to more chanting feeling in 2 years' time, for example. It may happen. It may not happen for next 20 years, or it may not happen in, I don't know, 50 years or in your lifetime. But for now, Prabhu, it's good enough to follow at least the minimum standards are given, and then later you can perform the service which you like. If you like more reading, try to do more reading after 16. I'm talking obviously. Someone likes to chant more, he can chant more rounds after 16. Someone likes to cook for deities, they can do. So there are some common minimum standard defined for all the devotees. After that, if you have extra time, you can define that. Yeah, and then multiple ways your mind will tell, devotees will also tell you, Prabhuji, what do you expect from you. So those things we will know, Prabhuji, over the period of time. When the mind will come under control, we don't know, Prabhu. We don't know. Even Arjun is struggling with his mind, Prabhu. So where are we standing? Just in this line for last maybe a decade or so, maybe a little bit more than that. But this is just too short to say anything. At this moment, we should just engage our senses as per the instruction of our seniors with full sincerity and move forward. Don't worry too much about the mind. Um, who can control the mind? It will happen, Prabhuji. It will happen. Just follow. Okay. Hare Krishna. Priya Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji, my question is related to Sanjay Vyas, Prabhuji. Like, when I used to wake up like early in the morning, do my chanting and everything, but it's been couple of months that I don't feel like getting up early in the morning, and my chanting rounds has been decreased now. Like it's going downhill.
Mm.
I feel like I'm doing some kind of mistakes or what's going on. Like how does I will I be able to come back to it, or will I go more down? I'm
No, no.
just I just keep on trying, but nowadays chanting has been gone lower and lower. The rounds is like been decreased a lot, and then in the morning also I don't feel like getting up early nowadays. Like
Okay.
it's been happening. I thought it's gonna last for a month or two, but it's been more than 2, 3 months, and then I'm still struggling to do it. Like how I used to do really fine, wake up really early, like it used to come automatically. Nowadays I'm struggling a lot.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Mataji, for sharing that. We all struggle. That's the first point. Now, there can be multiple reasons, and I don't know the reasons, so I'll just give a generic answer. There can be some health issues as well. Devotees also have body, they work very hard. There can be some health issues which needs to be addressed, and there can be another issues, some mental issues, some things going on in life, or there can be spiritual issues as well. Spiritual issues, when I say that means we are not taking enough association of devotees, we are not doing our services which we are involved in. Suppose devotees are involved in some temple services which are so nice, I highly recommend everyone to do some seva in the temple on a weekly basis. It can be a small seva or whatever works for your time schedule. So maybe it's a third one. So I'll answer on the third one because first two can be very customized answer. So many times when we don't do enough devotee association or not doing our services properly, these things can happen. But we should really have a line for us, But today, okay, you are very tired, take some extra rest or whatever. But tomorrow, at least in counting, we should never go down. 16 has to be 16. If you cannot get up very early, because one of the reasons can be you finish your work late or you study till late night, then you can't get up. So you have to go to bed early, and some days you can overstretch yourself, so you have to take at least 6, 7, or 8 hours of sleep, so that body is healthy, because we have so many priorities in life. So Mataji, my generic recommendation for you, take more devotee association, and you should have determination for yourself. You cannot compromise in your sadhana. Again, some days if you're not well or something else has happened, that can be a different situation, but get back to it immediately, not even tomorrow, today. So if I'm not sure if you have not done your rounds today, I mean 16, you must finish it before sleep, because your mind will trick you, Mata, here and there. He will tell you so many excuses, because mind is very expert in that, very expert doctor in distracting you. But at least our minimum standards should be followed, even if you have to do late night rounds for some days. But you must finish. Do not sleep without finishing your 16 rounds. That's just a line. Now, what Sanjay Vyas Prabhu's mind say, I don't care. Senses should be engaged in Krishna's service as a minimum. Some simple deity worship, or if you have a photo of Krishna, simple worship, some diya offering should go on, some little offering of fruits or nuts, whatever possible in your situation, some minimum things. And then your mind will never trouble you to not finish your rounds, for example. It will trouble you to read Bhagavad Gita. Why you have to read Bhagavad Gita and all that. So, but you must, Mata, everyone, not only Mataji, everyone should have this minimum standard that I'm not going to skip my rounds, no matter what my mind says, what others says, because that's a perfect attack of Maya. I'm sorry. Can be on anyone. So again, if health situation is there, some other life situations are there, deal with them, but do not sleep without finishing your round, because coming up is very hard. Going down is very easy. Anyone been to this water world? This in Blacktown. What is the name? I forgot the name. Wet and Wild. Wet and Wild, huh? Yes, Prabhu is smiling. We went.
Raging
I was,
waters.
huh? Raging Waters. Thank you.
Yeah. Mhm.
Whoever held me. Lakshmi Mata. Thank you. Huh? Anyway, I went there. Being honest. So you go in a queue. There's some very high jhula. I don't know the names at this stage. Anyway, so you go in the queue. 45 minutes you are in the queue, and when your number comes, you come down. Yes, Prabhu, in 2 seconds. 45 minutes you are, shivering in turn, waiting for, I will enjoy. And when that peak comes, you go down in 2 minutes. Sorry, 2 minutes, 2 seconds you come down. So please stay there. Please stay there, because no matter what happens in life, our sadhana should continue. Then we are able to deal in life situations better. If sadhana goes down, then we cannot deal with anything. So again, Mata, some thoughts, and again, there may be some other factors involved in your life which I'm not aware of. Um, yeah, I think, but start from sadhana. And if you have any good friend, if you can take some guidance from that senior devotee, that will also be good.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mata. Um, Okay, let's move forward. 328. Did we do this last verse last week?
Yes.
We did that? Okay, let's do this one and then we move to the today's verse. Who wants to do this verse? Anyone who hasn't done it? Sanjay Vyas Prabhu?
Ji Prabhuji. So one who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, Almighty armed, does not engage himself in the senses and sense gratification, knowing well the differences between work in devotion and work for fruitive results. So, are we doing word by word?
No, Prabhu, just give a quick message, Prabhuji. A very quick. It's already 7:56. Just a quick learning, whatever notes you have.
Sanjay Vyas Prabhuji, your voice is too low.
Too low. Okay. 1 second, Mataji. Is this better? No?
I can hear, Prabhu.
Yeah. So Prabhu, someone who is Krishna consciousness, is Krishna conscious, they do not engage in sense gratificatory activities. They know the differences between what devotional service is and what work in fruitive activities is.
Okay, let's move forward. I'm looking at the watch. 329. Let's start from today's discussion. Who hasn't read as yet? Anju Mataji, would you like to read? So we'll read
Hare
the Sanskrit, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Prakriti guna samudha sajante guna karmasu tana krishna vidomadan krishna vinta vichalayat. Bewildered by the modes of material nature, the ignorant fully engage themselves in material activities and become attached, but the wise should not unsettle them, although these duties are inferior due to the performer's lack of knowledge.
So Prakrtir Gud Sammudaha. So Prakrti refers to the material nature. Gud is three modes of material nature. Sammudaha. Who would know the meaning of Sammuda? We have read it many times. Sulekha Mataji is smiling. Please tell Mata.
Foolish.
Huh? Foolish. No, the higher degree of foolishness. So
Yes.
there's a word mudha and sammuda. Sammuda means, who can say? Some, what does some mean? Sanskrit word for some. Samyak, kirtan, sankirtan. So if the prefix sam is there before mudha, what does it mean?
मूर्खों का राजा.
मूर्खों का राजा थे. Next. Highest level. Sammudha means complete. Samyak mudha. Huh? So samyak mudha, complete mudha, or vimudha, as I said, vishesha mudha. They are different variations of the same word. So try to understand. Now, sometimes Prabhupada say fools and rascal, but actually Prabhupada is saying Krishna's words only. Krishna is speaking this language. We should never think Prabhupada is saying like that. Krishna is saying sammudha, vimudha, gokharaha, ass and donkeys. This Krishna is speaking Bhagavatam as well. So these words actually coming from Krishna. So Prakritir Gud Sammuda, he is completely bewildered by the gunas of Prakriti. Sajante, so Sajante refers to they become engaged in what? Guna Karmasu, in those sort of activities which are coming under the modes of material nature. That can be goodness, passion, or ignorant activities. They are Vimudhas or Samudhas. They are Krishna giving a special word. Akrasan Vido Mandan. So let's divide this. Vido, with word. Vido comes from Vidadhatu, Veda. Vid means to know. So Akrasan means complete. So Christian word many places, many verses has used this word Christian. So Christian means non-complete, incomplete. So his vido, his knowledge is Christian, is incomplete. And who he is? Mandan. Manda. Everyone knows Manda? Manda Sumanda Matyo Manda Bhagyu Padata, Bhagavatam 1:10. So Mandan refers to who is lazy. Now here lazy refers to spiritual laziness, not material laziness. These people are very good in material activities, because he is completely sammuda, vimuda, vishesh muda, murkhon ka raja. So what he is? He is mandan. Mandan refers to laziness. Prabhupada writes a beautiful line here. I'll just read it. Persons who are unknowledgeable falsely identify with gross material consciousness and are full of material designations. Huh? The body is a gift of material nature, and one who is too much attached to the bodily consciousness is called manda, or a lazy person without understanding the spirit soul. Huh? So these people are manda not based on their material IQ or whatever. They are manda because they are too much attached to the bodily consciousness. Huh? So they are called manda. Final line Krishna says, the opposite, the contrast of it. Krsan vin na vichalit. Vichalit means disturbed. Huh? Vichalit hona. In Hindi, we call it vichalit hona means disturbed. Krsan refers to complete. Vin refers to knowledge. One who is in complete knowledge, they are navichalaya, they are not disturbed. Huh? So when they are engaged in different activities, they are not disturbed by the results of those activities. But a manda person, a lazy person, or a samudha person, he will get impacted. So when we work in this material world, we have to come in contact with goodness, passion, or ignorant, different types of people, different types of activities. But the impact of it will only come on a person who is a samudha. Because his knowledge is incomplete. He's locked in material bodily consciousness. He doesn't have any spiritual knowledge, so he gets impacted by it. Huh? When the passion, he sees a some sort of picture or some, say, a bottle of alcohol, for example. Alcoholic sees a bottle of alcohol. What would he feel like? Now you wouldn't know how would he feel like, but at least you can imagine. Mayadhish Prabhu, what would he feel like?
Sorry, Prabhu, could you
Okay,
repeat question?
my question is, if an alcoholic sees a bottle of alcohol, what he will feel like?
He'll go crazy. He will be tempted.
He will be tempted, huh? At least he will try to grab the bottle and start doing his activity, right?
Yeah.
So whenever these sort of persons come in the mode of passion or ignorant activities, they get impacted by it. But a spiritually conscious person, Acharya Nishtha Prabhu, when he sees these things, what will happen to his consciousness? Same example, if he sees a bottle of alcohol, a spiritually conscious person, a devotee,
He will not get attracted to it.
he will not get attracted at all. Rather, he will get distracted to it. Huh? He will feel like, how can I get out from this situation because the smell is so bad? At the same time, the alcoholic will get attracted towards it. Huh? So Krishna is saying there are two types of people. Krishna means ones who have complete knowledge. Prabhupada writes here, the wise should not unsettle them, although these duties are inferior due to the performer's lack of knowledge. So only the people who will get impacted are mandan. Their knowledge is akrisan, incomplete. They are not Christian knowledgeable people. They are akrisan knowledgeable people. So what happens? They come under these modes of material nature activities. Yes, Acharya Prabhuji.
Just on this question, Prabhuji, working in a corporate world where every day, everything happens through the drinks only. So even though one tend to just bypass it, but after 10 no, you end up saying yes. Obviously not to drink, but at least to associate and go there. Um, how do we handle this? This challenges comes very often, especially
Yes.
for eating food outside.
Yeah. I'll give you a principle, then an example. So Keshav Maharaj says this principle, so I'm just repeating Maharaja's word. He said, you should join 5 a.m. club before you join 9 a.m. reality. So join the 5 a.m. club before you go back to work at 9 o'clock. Huh? So we usually start work at 9 o'clock. So if you have joined the 5 a.m. club, that means you have done your spiritual duties nicely in the morning. You are fully equipped to deal with Maya. So you are going in Maya. We are not doubting that. The world is very, very dangerous, and we will meet with people. 99% they have degraded consciousness. So how do you deal with them, Prabhu? There's only one weapon you can carry with you in the morning. For example, carry a lot of spiritual consciousness, which will come by chanting or some deity worship. You will be doing some arti, you will be doing, and possible some reading you will be doing, right? So if you're equipped with like 2 hours of sadhana in the morning, for example, 2.5 hours of sadhana, then we go to 9 a.m. Actually, you'll feel compassionate about them. I'm not talking about temptation here, but yeah, you feel bad, but actually you feel compassionate about these people. And that's the compassion devotee carries around. So we have to become very, very spiritually strong, Prabhu. We have to deal in this material world. You're living in a house, you're a grahastha, you have to earn some money, you have to look after your family, you have to deal with your neighbor, you have to deal with your colleague, your boss. So many problems come up in life. You can't avoid. We are all part of this material situation. So that's the principle, Prabhu. The principle is spiritual strength is the only way to deal with material problems. That applies to workplace as well as other situations as well. Now, you talked about the food part of it. I would say we are very fortunate to be in West. Here people respect your food habits. In India or sometimes even Indians here as well, they disrespect your food habits. But here normally people don't care what are you eating. Even if you eat salad, they don't bother you actually. Indians bother you. आप कुछ नहीं खा रहे? अच्छा पंडित जी हो. They'll try to bully you. But generally, local people here, like Europeans, Russians, and all, they actually respect you. And another thing which we are seeing throughout the world, many people are becoming vegan without being like a spiritual or devotees. That they are becoming vegan, and nowadays they have many vegan options as well. Finally, as a principle again in food habits, try to eat uncooked food if that's possible. Uncooked means salad, fruits, which are many times available even in these corporate events. So we can avoid. And worse come to worse, if it is for a spiritual purpose, for a preaching purpose, you pray to Krishna and offer your pranam mantra to your spiritual master. I'm talking the statement from um, Radhika Kripa Mataji, who goes around, Radhika Kripa Mataji goes around teaching events. So, yeah, she said, in worst case situations, I chant my Guru Maharaj mantra, which is your Guru Maharaj mantra, and you may have to accept some time. That's purely for preaching purpose. There are situations like that as well, just to encourage the other person. Prabhupada also did that in his life, but that should not become norm. That is just exceptional situations. We accept someone's love to encourage him or her. Yeah. Okay, I hope that answers, Prabhu.
Very much. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's move forward to 30th verse. This is a very important verse. Let's spend some time on this one. Who wants to do this one? Giraj Prabhu?
I can do, Prabhu.
Okay, Sarita Mata, or she's in Nepal, if I'm not wrong at this stage.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, so all glories to you from Nepal, internationally traveling. She's going to Dham and she's still attending classes. So all glories to your dedication, Mataji. Please.
मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि सन्न्यासा अध्यात्मा चेतसा निराशीर् निर्मामो भूत्वा युधस्व विगता ज्वरा. Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your works unto me, with full knowledge of me, without desires for profit, with no claims to proprietorship, and free from lethargy, hide.
Thank you, Mata. This verse is in one angle is known as the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. Some acharyas also said the most important verse in Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada also, right? This verse clearly indicates the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. Look at this. This Prabhupada verse here. Huh? This is an extremely important verse which Krishna is giving many messages in this one verse. And I think Amrit Prabhu was talking about the devotion. Prabhu, this is the verse where Krishna in Karma Yoga is talking about devotion. So let's read this verse word by word. We'll explain it. So, Mai Sarvani Karmani. So, very simple Sanskrit words are there. So, Sanskrit words are very easy here. So, Mai refers to me, mine. Krishna is saying, Sarvani Karmani, all the Sarva Karma, not only one karma, two karma, Sarva Karma, all your prescribed duties. What you should do with your prescribed duties? Sanyasya, giving up completely. Here, giving up completely means offering to Krishna. And when the offer part comes, Amrit Prabhu, what happens? Bhakti comes. Now, how does the offering should be done? What should be the consciousness of offering? This is what we have to read in this verse. Very nice. How Krishna has sort of integrated this Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga together in this particular verse. So we'll start from the bottom of this verse, which should make sense in a minute to all of you. Yuddha Yasva. What does Yuddha Yasva means? Yuddha Karo. Because he's talking to Partha, Arjuna here, right? So for Arjun, it is Yuddha. For us, what is that? Acharya Prabhu? We don't have any sword or bows and arrows.
Yeah, but just do your activities.
Prescribed duties. So this is not just for Partha, Arjuna, this for all of us. So Yuddha refers to for us is our prescribed duties. So how you should do your prescribed duties? Vigat Jara. The Jara everyone knows. Bukhar in Sanskrit is called Jara. Vigat. Jiska Bukhar chala gaya hai. This Bukhar is gone. That means here Jara refers to Prabhupada writes lethargy. So you should offer your offer your actions to Krishna without lethargy. Now, lethargy represents mode of which mode lethargy represents? Yes, Prabhu.
Ignorant.
Ignorance. Thank you, Keshav Prabhu. Right? So, mode of ignorance should not be there while offering your activities to Krishna. Okay? So, line D represents leave mode of ignorance, no lethargy. Right? Vigat jaraha. Let's look at line C. Nirashirs. Prabhupada writes Nirashirs without desire for profit. So, when you're working, we all have desire for profit, yes or no? Acharya Nisa Prabhu, you have? He works for a bank. Bank has a lot of money. Do you have desire for profit?
Not at least now understand where to use it, but yes, there is a
Okay.
desire to make
We
money.
all have. I have it, Prabhu. You may not have it. Krishna is saying desire for profit represents which mode? Anyone else can say.
Passion.
Passion. Thank you, Prabhuji. Huh? So, should we have passion in offering our activities to Krishna? Krishna is saying no. So, no desire for profit. This also means तुम एक पैसा दोगे वो 10 लाख देगा. Some people give donation, and you should give donation. No doubt in that. But they give donation in expectation of returning, getting something back. Huh? I am giving to Krishna, and Krishna should give me more. At least some pain should come. Huh? So, without desire for any profit. Nir mamo, mama refers to me and mine. Aham and mameti. Nir mama. Nir mama refers to what? No proprietorship feeling. Huh? Again, it doesn't mean you should not have anything. You can have the things, but you should not have feeling of proprietorship. I am the owner of this thing, so I am the bhokta. No, Krishna is the owner, Krishna is the bhokta. I'm just caretaking of this particular house, this family, this particular object for a while. So, nirashir nirmamo bhuta. That means in your offering, you should not have any desire for profit or any feeling of ownership. That means you should not have any mode of passion. Now you talk about line B. Sannyasa refers to offering adhyatma chetasa. Adhyatma chetasa, here you should start from, say, goodness. So now adhyatma word can have multiple meanings. So start to understand. When we talk about adhyatma, the very first thing which comes, you know the distinction between matter and spirit, right? And if you know the distinction between matter and spirit, that means you're already mode of goodness, isn't it? Any marg, if you see any spiritual marg, the first thing they will know, you're not the matter. Even if you go to a Brahmavadi or Mayavadi, they're also spiritual, isn't it? Now, their spirituality is not perfect, the understanding of their spirituality, but they're still spiritual because they're acting, they're trying to act on the matter of spiritual level. Huh? So, anywhere the spirit comes in, that becomes a spiritual. Now, their spiritual level may not be perfect, they may not be in a devotional manner. So, transcendence can also have two levels. One can be spiritual, one can be devotional. So, transcendental spiritual means wherever the spirit comes in. So, even Mayavadis are also following a marg of spirit, isn't it? Because they know you're not the body, you're the spirit. But their spiritual is not devotional. They don't want to serve Krishna. They want to bypass Krishna. They want to step over Krishna. So we have to understand the final goal should be a spiritual goal in devotional mood. So spiritual starts from spirit, but it should not just end up in the Aham Brahmasmi. Is it right or wrong? Anyone? If I say Aham Brahmasmi, there's a quotation from Upanishads. Is it right or wrong? Keshav Prabhu.
It is right, Prabhu.
It is right. Okay. Now, who can counter argue Keshav Prabhu? Someone can counter argue Keshav Prabhu. He's right. What he said is right. Amrit Prabhu, can you give another counter argument?
Partially right.
Thank you.
It's partially right. Is Jiva Swarupa Nitya Krishna Das.
Okay, right. So Aham Brahmasmi is correct, but Aham Param Brahmasmi is not correct, isn't it? Who is Parabrahma? Parabrahm, Parabdham, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan. Arjun says in 10.12. So he is Parabrahma. Ishvara Paramah Krishna. We are all Ishvara, we are also Brahma, no doubt in that. But we are not Param Ishvara, we are not Parabrahma. So spiritual starts from understanding of Brahma. So everyone is spiritual whoever is following that mark. So coming back to this line, Adhyatma Chetsa, you have to understand very, very clearly. It's not only mode of goodness, is crossing the mode of goodness, going to devotional aspect. So starting from leaving mode of goodness, leaving mode of passion, leaving mode of ignorance, right? So these three lines you understand, B, C, and D. So they are saying go beyond the modes of material nature. And what you should do? Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya, you offer all your activities to me. Prabhupada says, surrendering all your works unto me. This is devotion, Amrit Prabhu. So this is where in Karma Yoga, through 330, Krishna is introducing devotion. Is it okay, Amrit Prabhu? And how he's saying, go beyond the modes of material nature. Go vigajara, go beyond mode of ignorance. Go nirashi nirmam bhuta, go beyond mode of passion. And adhyatma chetasaha. Huh? Now, adhyatma can have multiple levels as well. So this verse basically indicates how we are to offer our activities to Krishna beyond modes of material nature, which is devotion. Now, let's read Prabhupada lines here a little bit. So this is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. Purpose of Bhagavad Gita. See, Prabhupada is so clear on his writing. The Lord instructs that one has to become fully Krishna conscious to discharge his duties as if in a military discipline. Now, military discipline is a big word, right? Such an injunction may make things little difficult. Nevertheless, duties must be carried out with dependence on Krishna because that is the constitutional position. So Prabhupada is saying you should follow this in a military discipline. What do you mean by military discipline? You cannot say no to your leader. Huh? In military, if your commander in chief says attack on the enemy, you just attack. You say why attack, when attack, tomorrow attack, today attack. Soldiers cannot ask that question. Huh? So we as a little soldiers, our Guru Maharaj or our seniors are guiding us on that path. So if we have a feeling of surrendership to our seniors, to our spiritual master, then we'll be successful in this battle. If we start asking too many questions, now it does not mean we should ask no questions. That's not what the point is. For clarification, for removing our doubts, questions are very, very important, but we have to follow the discipline. Priya Mataji was just saying, I used to get up early and all that. Now the discipline is a little lost. So recommendation is for all of us, get back to that discipline. Utsahat nishayat dhairya tat karma pravartana. Tat karma pravartana refers to whatever guidelines our seniors have set up, we should follow those guidelines. Because if we follow those guidelines without questioning, then what happens? We improve very nicely, very, very nicely. Military discipline is a strong word, but that's what Prabhupada is recommending. Even if it is difficult, we have to follow those things. Mahadish Prabhuji.
Sorry, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, how do we then, with this sloka, do our activities? Because we do work to earn money for our family, prescribed duties, and no one wants to do job with less amount of money. They
Yeah.
always want to jump
Yeah.
to a job.
Prabhu, the point is that's not your goal. So I know I also work for money, but I know money is not the goal of my life, and whatever money I get is given by Krishna, and I need to engage that money, every single cent, in the service of Krishna. So I need to earn because in this material world you have to pay your rent or mortgage, you have to look after your family. But I don't feel I'm only working for money. As soon as I get a job which pays me another 10, I just jump. No, I'm not saying not to jump, but the point is that's not the goal of my life. I know one of my friend, he used to jump jobs to jobs every 6 months just because he'll get another, he will not even give enough notice. So he actually got blacklisted eventually. He jump, just completely money minded. So devotees earning money, that's not wrong. And you have to live in the society in a certain way. You have to, if you are a manager, you have to make your others employees work in a nice way. Sometimes you may have to little hard as well because they're not delivering their projects. All these things will carry on, but internally, I'm a servant of Krishna. Everything I'm doing is just very external to my existence, to my core existence. And this just body working, interacting with modes. We'll read in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhuji, 5.10 and 11, on 9 and 10, one of these couplet verses there, which says, a yogi is not disturbed by the sense and the sense objects interactions. Your body is sleeping, your body is interacting, your body is sometimes sick, sometimes going up and down. This is just happening with the body, but you yourself are completely aloof from the body, as a lotus flower is completely detached, although he is inside the water. If that helps.
Sure, bro. I'm just trying to draw parallels between what Krishna is telling Arjuna and how we can. I understand the point that we ultimately we're doing this for offering the results of what we're doing to Krishna, but we still have that desire for profit, as mentioned here.
Absolutely. Prabhu,
And
that's
why is Krishna telling Arjuna not to have the desire for profit, even though he says then the results should be offered to me?
Yes, because
But
if
without having the desire, then you won't feel like doing what you want to
but
do.
that means you are in bodily conscious, Prabhuji. Sorry to say, and we all have it. I also have it, maybe 99% time. The point is, Prabhu, you are in a journey. So right now, your desire for profit, suppose is 100%, but by being a devotee, your desire will reduce to 90%, 80%, and slowly one day you'll think, actually, I don't need anything for my survival. Krishna is maintaining me. So many sadhus in Vrindavan, right? They're completely depending on Krishna, but we don't have that consciousness, for example, right? So we're going out and working, but whatever we achieve from work, we offer completely to Krishna. So that means you are still a sannyasi. You're a grahastha or you're a sannyasi, that actually doesn't matter. But what you're offering, that is a sannyas. Sannyas is not just your ashrama. Am I getting your question right? So desire for profit will be there, but it will get reduced as you become an advanced devotee. Slowly and slowly, one day you'll say, I don't need to get anything in this material world. You can still, sannyasis also, going out and sometimes asking for money. But for what? To build a temple for Krishna. Huh? So desire is there, but it's reducing, and one day it will get reduced to zero, zero, complete zero. You can still work, but with a zero desire for profit for yourself. I think you're not satisfied.
No, I'm sorry, Prabhu. I'm not able to understand that as much. Maybe I will.
But desire for profit for yourself, that's what he's saying. For me, no profit. For Krishna, yes, Prabhupada said, give me all the money. So at the moment, we all have desire for profit. But as we are advancing in devotional life, our desire for profit for ourselves as a bhokta, like bhokta means if you get a job which pays $10,000, then you go on different holidays, huh? We'll stay in a different hotel. Will that happen to a devotee? You pay me $10,000 extra, that's fine. I love it. But that $10,000, I will contribute more in the temple project, for example. I'll contribute more in Vrindavan Yatra. For us, one kurta, that's fine. I don't think so anyone get attracted with the money these days. Huh? Again, I also jump jobs sometimes. But that's not my sole purpose. I get extra money, that's fine. I don't change my kurtas. You know what I'm saying, Mahadish Prabhu?
Yeah, I totally understand.
Yeah. So not for myself. Profit is good for Krishna. If you're paying 50,000 to Krishna, now you pay 80,000 to Krishna. Krishna, thank you for giving me a job which paid me another $100,000. I'll give that $50,000 to you. Simple as that. So we are working for profit, but now the consciousness is changing. That's definitely happening. Huh? Is that okay?
Yeah, yes, bro. Thank you.
So we're just taking ourselves from the picture out, and it happens slowly. Okay, 331. Now 331 is a verse which is very interrelated to 330. Now 330, Krishna is giving a principle, and 331 is saying if you follow the principle, what will happen? 332 he will say if you don't follow the principle of 330, what will happen? So let's see a positive note on this verse. 331. Who wants to do? Okay, I'll pick up from the bottom one. I can see Apeksha Mataji. Would you like to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Krishna
I
Mataji.
can read.
Hare Krishna, you're still there? Okay, I'm not able to see Mataji. Anyone else? Ram Santosh Prabhu?
Sure, Prabhu. ये मे मतम् इदं नित्यम् अनुतिष्ठन्ति मानव श्रद्धवन्तो नानुशोयन्तो नाशयन्तो मुच्यन्ते तेऽपि कर्मभिः. The persons who execute their duties according to my injunctions and who follow this teaching faithfully without envy become free from bondage of fruitive actions.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So what is the result of following the principle given in 330? Ye me matam idam. So the word matam, I love this word. Krishna is saying this is my opinion. So many times we are just too small, insignificant living entities and we try to force our opinion on others. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He has supreme authority over everything. All these Vedas, Shastras coming from him. He has created all of us. He has created all the facilities for all of us. But he's so humble. He's saying, Matam idam. Ye mera mat hai. This is my opinion. Huh? So at least we should also be humble. So we can present our opinion to others. If they don't buy on it, that's fine. It's their choice. Huh? Krishna is also not forcing. So he's giving a principle in a very, very humble way. Ye me matam idam. So this is my opinion. What is my opinion? Nityam anutishtanti. Tishtanti refers to tishtanti, baithta hai. Anutishtanti means one who follows that. Nityam, when does he follow? All the time. My sarvani karmani, huh? In the Pishala verse, in the previous verse. If we follow that principle all the time, nityam is nityam, satatam, they all refer to the same thing. Anutishtanti, they follow in that steps of those principles. How do they follow? What should be their consciousness? Shraddhavanto, they should have faith in the principle. If you don't have faith in Krishna, you'll just following the principle with grudge and resentment. Kya kare, mala karna padta hai. I promise, so I have to do mala. I have to stay vegetarian. I have to not see movies, whatever, right? A match, this and that, huh? If you are doing with grudge, will your spiritual master forget spiritual master? Will your mother be pleased? Huh? If you're serving your mother with grudge, for example, huh? Your mother is sick and you're serving your mother or father. Will your mother or father will be happy? Anyone here? You're serving with grudge. You're going, beta, rehne do. I'll cook my own prasadam, huh? You don't have to worry, huh? So anyone serving you with grudge or resentment, you don't like that, huh? So if you're following Krishna consciousness with grudge, that won't work, huh? So you should have faith. He is my supremely well-wisher person. So Shraddha, you should have Shraddha in Krishna, the speaker, and also Shraddha in the principles given by the speaker. Same applies for Guru Maharaj. So if you have a spiritual master, or Prabhupada is our spiritual master, all of us have taken shelter of Prabhupada. So if Prabhupada is saying something, you should have Shraddha in Prabhupada. He is our well-wisher. Huh? Ever well-wisher, Prabhupada used to sign with that. And his statements. These statements may look harsh sometimes, may look very difficult, but if I follow it with Shraddha, with faith, chant the holy name, don't waste time, read Bhagavad Gita, come and serve Gopinath. If we follow these principles, although they may seem very difficult, this will give me Shreya, this will give me benefit in future. Huh? A complete, perfect benefit will come to me and to my soul, to my spiritual consciousness by following this principle. We have that Shraddha. And the second quality Krishna is giving, this very, very nice. Anasuyantaha. So Suya refers to envy. And Asuya, you have heard the name Anasuya Mata in Ramayana, Atri Rishi and Anasuya Mata. So what does Anasuya mean? Who has no Suya? Suya means envy. Now, anyone has Suya here? Not Sui, Suya. Envy. Amrit Prabhu raising his hand. Everyone else, we have to take a seminar on truthfulness. We all have envy. I'm sorry. We all have envy. And Prabhupada has written, because of envy with Krishna, we have ended up in the material world. So we all have envy. You believe me or not, you may see, Prabhu, I'm such a nice devotee. Sorry. We all have envy with Krishna. Why? Sometimes we feel why Krishna is in the center with all the gopis. Some person, Maharaj was saying actually in a class, one Prabhupada disciple, that people say Krishna is performing Ras Leela with 16 billion gopis, and sometimes the number varies. So why can't I perform the Ras Leela? So Maharaj said, which Prabhupada's statement, Maharaj is repeating. Maharaj said, Prabhupada said, first you become Giridhari. Giridhari means lift the Govardhan hill on your pinky finger for 7 days. Maharaj said, forget about being Giridhari. First you become Tabledhari. Tabledhari means you hold a table on your pinky finger for 7 days. Then you can enter into Ras Leela. Huh? So forget about Giridhari, become a Tabledhari. Hold a table for 7 days. Huh? So if you cannot become Tabledhari or Giridhari, how can you be eligible to perform Ras Leela? So these are all nonsense actually. We don't understand the position of Krishna. One example I heard in a lecture, very beautiful example. If you are driving Acharya Prabhu from your place to temple, will there be some red lights on the way?
Ji.
Ji? So what you are supposed to do, Prabhu, on the red light? Stop or go?
Stop.
Prabhu, I'm a soul, I'm not the body. No, you may be a soul in technicality, but right now the soul is sitting in the body, and if you cross red light, people will not like, you may get injured, other people get injured, and on top of that you'll get a big, nice ticket, $435 or something like that. Huh? But Acharya Prabhu is standing on a red light. An aeroplane comes right passes through the red light. Acharya Prabhu, Are pagal! A mad person. You're not seeing the red light? You're not seeing the red light? No, aeroplane follows a different set of rules. Aeroplane is not supposed to follow the red light rule. And if he follows, Acharya Prabhu will be in trouble. Usi ke upar girega. So Krishna is like that aeroplane. We are like little insignificant sitting in a little car. Huh? Aeroplanes is not supposed to follow, and it's good aeroplane doesn't follow your set of rules, isn't it? So Krishna is like that aeroplane. It's a material example. Krishna is much higher than aeroplane, but the point is Krishna is not supposed to follow. His situation is very, very different. Our situation is that we cannot put our rules on Krishna. Krishna can put his rules on us. We cannot put our rules on Krishna. Radha Rani के साथ शादी क्यों नहीं किया? Who is Radha Rani? First get to know about Srimati Radha Rani. Then you talk about this shadi and all that. Huh? So his rules are very, very different. So coming down to this verse, we all have Suya, but we have to become Anusuya. Huh? When we have Anusuya, like Arjuna, then Krishna can impart this knowledge. So this verse is showing two qualifications, Shraddha and Anusuya. So if you follow these rules, these principles, rather I should say, given in 330, with Shraddha and Anusuya, then what will be the result? Muchante, tepi karma bhi. They will get out of the bondage of karma. Huh? So this is again on the level of a karma yogi. It's not talking about a bhakti yogi here, but even a karma yogi can come out of the bondage of karma by following these principles. How often? Nityam. Nityam Anutishthandi is following the principles all the time with Shraddha and without any envy. And then he will come out of the bondage of fruitive actions. Yes, Acharya Prabhuji, you had your hand?
Yes, Prabhuji. I just happened very quickly, Prabhuji. I had a very good conversation with someone about his statement was he's an atheist, and then he said, "Do you believe that ki pinky finger se utha liya?" And then when I started explaining, it went to that कि उन्होंने 16,108 के साथ नित्य लीला करी. So that was very weird situation to answer. On that situation, any shastric thing we can say rather than saying that he's Bhagwan, he can do anything because he's not considering him a Bhagwan when I'm speaking.
Then we can't answer the question. I'm sorry. Only Bhagwan can do this. One Maharaj said, we can't even handle one. He can handle 16,000.
Prabhu, once I was in such a
uh,
situation,
I'll just
but
complete Hari Gopal Prabhu and I'll just get back to you. So we have to start who is doing the activity. Now, Narendra Modi, for example, he has certain rights as a prime minister, so he can do many things. We can't. We are a normal citizen. Huh? So because he is Bhagwan, he is able to do it. And there are principles behind it as well, which you can explain. But if someone's basis is wrong, then answering that question will become very, very difficult. But then you can explain because he is Bhagwan, he extended the Draupadi Kavastra, the sari of Draupadi Mata, because Draupadi was in trouble. She remembered
Okay.
the Lord. So we have to just not look into one Leela and then start from there and end there. We can take one Leela and then can take another example as well. So all the Leelas, Krishna's transcendental position is shown. We can't do that. When Mother Yashoda opened the mouth of Krishna, he could show the whole Brahmanda. Can we show the Brahmanda? So his situation is different, and that's why his activities are different. So we have to understand his activities from his level. I heard, again, I don't know how far it's true, Narendra Modi's security cost every day, Indian government, I can't remember exactly, like 50 crore rupees, something like that, Prabhu. Huh? A huge amount. Now, why is he spending this much money? Why can't he give this much money to some poor people? But it's needed for that position. It's needed for that position. Huh? There will be some expenses. But the result he's giving to his region, that's amazing. I'm just giving one mundane example. But even the leaders, Putin, I don't know his daily expense, something in millions. Huh? Every day he's spending that much money. Now that money can be diverted something else. Yes, it's possible, but that is the need of that position. So Krishna also is in a very different situation. We have to understand his lila from his perspective. A normal person like us, we cannot imply our rule. Some people are asking, when Lord Ram went to the forest, where did he go bathroom? The Lord Ram doesn't go to bathroom. And the answer given by Maharaj was, even Devtas don't go to bathroom. In Sarg Loka, there are no toilets. Devtas don't pass. They eat, but they don't pass. And you'll say, how come this is possible? Now, we are humans. We have a body which is limited. So even if Devtas, who are like Jivas, they are like higher Jivas, but they're like us. If they don't, even it says the plants don't go to bathroom. They don't pass out. They drink. They're called padap. They drink from their legs. So there are many things, even in the material world, we can see. We can see in Devatas, they can stand in the air. We can't. So what to speak of Supreme Personality of Godhead? So something. Sorry, Harish Prabhu, sorry. I just wanted to
No,
continue.
no,
Sorry,
Prabhu.
please
I
add.
think you covered most of it. One thing is when Ras Leela happened, Krishna was only an 8-year-old boy.
That's another argument, yes.
Yeah, so he was an 8-year-old boy, and also it is completely spiritual. It's nothing to do with the material. Now, but when people get into the arguments, if they are not willing to listen, you're just wasting your time. It's better you wind up that conversation and walk away.
Yeah. They just don't have adhikar, Prabhu, to understand these things. Everyone needs adhikar to understand. So without the adhikar, they want to drive an aeroplane, they will crash. They will crash.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I'm
One
meeting
more,
next week.
one more thing which Prabhupada said on this, I'll just add that. Just came to my mind. Once Prabhupada disciple was asking about the same incident of Ras Leela. Prabhupada, how do I explain there were 16 billion gopis present in a village called Vrindavan, which is very, very small, materially speaking, right? How do I explain that? You know what answer Prabhupada gave to this disciple? He said, is that the only thing you have to explain and convince about in Srimad Bhagavatam? There's nothing else? Means why do you have to talk about this topic? Not that it's wrong, but there's so many things in Bhagavatam. Why are you not talking about other things? Again, without adhikar, they will not be able to understand what is Vrindavan. They are just seeing as a village. Indra was also looking like a village. He said to Samvartak, wipe off the existence of Vrindavan. Tomorrow I don't want to see a place called Vrindavan on the earth map. They don't understand what is Vrindavan, what is Krishna, what is the associates of Krishna. So it's very, very high level topic. If they don't have Shraddha, they don't understand. Wind up, as Hari Gopal Prabhuji said, move to the next topic. Move to the next person who can buy a book. Sahi Radhika Mata, please help.
Niru, help me. Simple. I had heard my father giving this answer to somebody. In India, it is very common. People just ask this kind of a thing. Ki, Arey, wo to aise, aise. Like they will sing songs and really भगवान को उल्टा सीधा बोलते थे.
Yes.
So my father said one thing. He said भगवान आत्मा राम है. उनको जरूरत नहीं एंजॉयमेंट की.
Yes.
ये सब लोग जो उनकी वाइफ हैं, जो ये पहले ऋषि मुनि थे, उनको ऐसा चाहिए था, इसीलिए भगवान उनको फुलफिल कर रहे हैं. पहली बीवी के लिए भी, रुक्मिणी के लिए भी वो नहीं जा रहे थे.
Yes.
उनको कोई जरूरत नहीं थी. लेकिन वो हर बार दूसरे की इच्छा के लिए, यही भगवान का काम है कि वो अपने भक्त की इच्छा पूरी करते हैं. उनको कोई कुछ नहीं वो पड़ा है. ये आपकी नॉलेज नहीं है कि आपको, क्यों आपका दिमाग ऐसा है कि आपको लग रहा है वो एंजॉयमेंट चाहते हैं, क्योंकि आप एंजॉयमेंट समझ रहे हो उसको. लेकिन भगवान सेवा कर रहे हैं अपने भक्त की. यही फर्क है हम में और भगवान में.
Very nice. Thank you, Mata. So Bhagwan is Bhagwan. He's always serving his devotees. And all these gopis, as Mataji correctly said, they are all rishis. They're very big sadhakas. They have taken birth in Vrindavan after a lot of tapasya. Their relationship is completely spiritual. Thank you, Mata. Sanjay Vyas Prabhu, can I move on? Sorry, we have not covered many verses today. We'll come back to your question. Please keep your question as it is. So let's see 32, which is again a contrary to 331. If you don't follow the principles, who would like to read? Maybe Sanjay Vyas Prabhu, we can read.
Prabhu Sanskrit.
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
ये तो एतत् अभ्यसूयन्तो नानुतिष्ठन्ति मे मतं सर्वज्ञानविमूढंस्तान् विधि नष्टान् अचेतसः. But those who out of envy disregard these teachings and do not follow them regularly are to be considered bereft of all knowledge, befooled and ruined in their endeavors for perfection.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, if you remember, there was asuyanto there. This is abhyasuyanto. Abhyasuyanto, Prabhupada writes, out of envy. So, previous verse was saying you should not have envy. Here we are saying abhyasuyanto, you have envy. So, if you have envy, and with the envy you're not following the instruction, like Duryodhana had a lot of envy towards Pandavas. He was not listening to Krishna. Krishna was telling him some nice proposal. Chalo 5 gaon de do. Just give me 5 villages. But Duryodhana said, no, no, no. So, if out of envy you do not follow the principles, he says, na anutishtanti. Previous verse says anutishtanti. Here saying, na anutishtanti. You're not following the principles out of envy. Me matam. What will happen to you? Sarva jnana vimudasta. So what will happen to all you? Even if you have a lot of gyans, so many philosophers are there in material world. They say, I'm a jnani. Even in Vedic culture, there are many, many jnanis. Sarva jnan vimudasta. So all your gyan, what will happen? Nashtan will nast, which will get destroyed. So basically your gyan will not help in the ultimate goal. And ach chet saha. Your Chetasaha, Krishna is saying, has become achetasa. That means misdirected. So your chetasa, your consciousness should carry you towards your ultimate goal. But if you're not following the principles of Bhagavad Gita given by Krishna, say in 330, you are na anutishtanti, you're not following it. Why you're not following? Because you have suya in your heart. You have envy in your heart. What will be the result? You will be ruined in the endeavors for perfection. Now, I'll just read 2 lines of Prabhupada, very, very nice. The flaw of not being Krishna conscious is clearly stated herein. As there's a punishment for disobedience to the order of the Supreme Executive Head, so there is certainly punishment for disobedience to the order of Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is the punishment? You will be ruined in the endeavors for perfection. So this also indicates there are many other paths of religion. For example, they say, I don't want to name any religions here. Follow this, follow that. If you don't follow, you'll go back to hell. You will burn there forever. Some people force other sampradayas to follow their mark. All this will be ruined actually. So they are fully equipped with their own self-ruination. Jihad, they use, jihad karenge. So actually they are ruining themselves because they don't understand the principles of Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's 233. This is also a very famous verse. Who hasn't done today? Please. Prema Bhakti Mataji. I'm saying Mata after a long time. Please, if you
Hare
like to
Krishna
do.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah. Sadrasham Sadrasham chestate swasya prakritir jnanavan api prakritim yanti bhutani nigraha kim karishyati. Even a man of knowledge acts according to his own nature, for everyone follows the nature he has acquired from the 3 modes. What can repression accomplish?
Thank you, Mataji. So sadasham cheste sasya prakritir jnanvanapi prakriti miyanti bhutani nigraha kim karishyati. Some people, some sampradayas, they conclude Bhagavad Gita in this verse. Not our Gaudiya Sampradaya, I'm taking some other Sampradaya. And they use this line of Bhagavad Gita to convince people to follow what they want people to get convinced with. There's another Sampradaya, maybe I should name Osho. Have you heard about Osho? They also follow some principles, and they use this line, Nigraha kim karishyati. Nigraha means suppression. So you should not suppress your feelings. So again, I have heard in some classes, this particular sect, they have their ashramas, and in those ashramas, everything goes on openly. Everything goes on because they follow this line. You don't have to suppress your feelings. Just express your feelings, and by expressing your feelings, you'll get rid of those feelings. Does it ever happen? Especially with our lust. It says, fulfilling your lusty desires means, this is an example given in Srimad Bhagavatam, like putting ghee in fire. If there's a fire, you put ghee, what will happen, Ananda Prabhu? Fire will get extinguished?
No, it will just grow, bro.
It will grow actually. What a Pandit does to increase the fire. Put ghee, put ghee, put ghee. Amrit Prabhu, bring more ghee. So you're putting ghee in fire. You're fulfilling your lusty desires. Lusty desires will grow or diminish.
Always grow, Prabhu.
Always grow. But here, what Krishna is saying, they actually misinterpret this verse of Bhagavad Gita. So let's read this verse and see what Krishna is trying to say, in which direction he's trying to say. So unless we understand the full thing, we cannot interpret this verse. Nigraha kim karishyati, nigraha kim karishyati. Let's read the first line of the verse. Sadasham chestate swasya. So swasya prakrite. So these 2 words has to be read together. Swasya prakriti, apni prakriti. Everyone has their own prakriti, which we agree with. We're not denying that. Everyone has their Gyanvan api. So even the Gyanis will have their own Prakriti. We're talking about Keshav Kashmiri. I think Ayush Prabhu gave that example. So he also has Prakriti. Now here, Prakriti, what does Prakriti mean here? Now there are 2 types of Prakriti are possible. One Prakriti refers to our psychophysical nature. So the soul has a Prakriti. So we're not talking about the soul's Prakriti here. We are talking Prakriti of the conditioned soul. Prakriti means Swabhava. So every soul in the conditioned state can have 2 types of Swabhava. One Swabhava obviously is going towards Krishna, which is serving Krishna eternally, right? But one Swabhava we have achieved while we are in the body, and that Swabhava refers to our Chaturvarnya Maya system, 413. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. Huh? So someone can be Brahmanical by nature. He likes to read Shastra, he likes to explain Shastra, Patam, Patam, Yajan, huh? Those sort of nature. Someone can be Kshatriya. Now, Kshatriya can be a devotee, Kshatriya, Brahman can be a devotee, Vaishya can be a devotee, Shudra can be a devotee. That's not a problem. But while he is in that body, he has a certain psychophysical nature. Not everyone will be interested in Shastra. Do you agree with that? Even if we're a devotee community, huh? Some people are interested in Shastra. Some people, Sanjay Vyas Prabhu is saying, are interested in chanting more. Some people are reading more. Some people like to work for Krishna. Make another temple, for example. Huh? I have to get some money for Krishna. Is it wrong? It's not wrong. He is using his swabhava for the service of Krishna. So is Brahman higher or Kshatriya higher when you are serving Krishna with your swabhava? Both are on the same platform. Huh? Someone likes to cook for Krishna. What's wrong with that? Because cooking, cleaning, raising money for making temple or explaining Shastra, reading Shastra, they are all on which platform? Absolute platform. So at the moment, our soul has an innate swabhava, innate psychophysical nature, but we are trying to engage that nature in Krishna's seva. This is called vritti. What is called? Vritti. Everyone has a vritti. Now this vritti refers to our psychophysical nature, which is not the soul's nature. So we're not talking to soul here. But the soul is conditioned, right? So soul is conditioned in a certain way. It is called vritti. Putting our vritti in Krishna's seva is very nice. And Krishna is talking in this particular verse about our vritti. So if your vritti is Brahmanical, engage your Brahmanical nature in Krishna's seva. If your vritti is Kshatriya, engage your Kshatriya vritti in Krishna's seva. Now here Krishna is instructing to Arjuna to put his Kshatriya vritti into his service, isn't it? Saying Yuddha Yasya Vigajuraha. But if you are Brahmanical by nature, put your Brahmanical pravritti in serving Krishna. So putting our psychophysical nature, which in Sanskrit is called vritti, this is what is spoken in this word. Prakriti niyanti bhutani, every bhuta will have a prakriti, swasya hai prakriti, a sign which will have its own pravritti. Nigra kim karashi. So do not suppress your vritti in Krishna's seva. So if you are a Brahman, if you are a Shudra, you don't have to become Brahman to become a best devotee. While you are Shudra, here Shudra refers to, he is performing an activity which is classified as Shudra activity. That is fine. But that Shudra person whose occupational duty is Shudra can still be a devotee. Isn't it? Many people who has born in a so-called low caste were perfect devotees. Any examples anyone can think of? Haridas Thakur, he was born in Yavana family. He was a Muslim. He was not even a Hindu. He was not a Brahman, but he was known as Namacharya. I'm remembering Rahim Das ji, Abdul Rahim Khan Khana, very, very big devotee. Sudama was Brahman. So I'm just talking from one perspective, and there can
Roop
be
and Sanatan Goswami.
Roop and they were born Brahmanas. Okay, they were occupational duties. But yeah, Ayush Prabhu, thank you for giving the occupational duties. They were following Yavanas. They were helping Bhushansa in that example. So there are many examples filled with. So whatever your occupational duties are, if your vritti is like that, you can maintain your vrittis, but put your vritti for the seva of the Lord. Nigra kim karashati, Lord telling to Arjuna, you don't have to become a sannyasi. Don't have to suppress your Kshatriya tendency and become a sannyasi to be a devotee. You can be a Kshatriya and be a best devotee. You can be a Vaishya and be a best devotee. And you can be a Brahmana and may not be a devotee. Is it possible? Example, Shukracharya. At least in one instance, we can say, right? Shukracharya did not behave like a devotee when Vaman Dev came to the doorstep. Bali Maharaj saying, don't give to Lord Vishnu. Is it a Brahman? Now, he is Brahman, but he's acting like a devotee here? No. And Bali Maharaj rejected him, rejected his spiritual master. So the point which I'm trying to make through this particular verse, when Krishna says, Nigraha kim karishyati, is talking about a prakriti which is referring to your vritti, not vasana. So now Brahman can also be lusty, Kshatriya can also be lusty, Vaishya can also be lusty. So these prakriti is also there in all of us, right? This is called vasana. Now vritti you should take towards Krishna, but vasana you should dovetail. So lust should be converted into love, for example. Greed should be converted into seva. If you have greed for earning money, earn money, but do it, give it for seva. Lust should convert it. Bhakti Maharaj said, I want to have 100 kids. but 100 Krishna conscious kids. Huh? You can have so many kids, that's not a problem. Every kid, you should try at least, that he or she should become a devotee of Lord Vishnu. Then your bringing kid to this world is perfect. Rishabdev says, Guru na sasyat, Janini na sasyat, Pita na sasyat. You are not allowed to become a Janni or a mother unless you can deliver your child. You are not allowed to become Guru unless you can deliver your child. So bringing kids to material world, no problem at all. Make sure you can make your kid a Krishna conscious kid. Make him a devotee of Lord Ram or Krishna. So Nigra Kenkarashati, this should be very, very clear. This is referring to your vritti, not vasana. And for vasana, Krishna has the next verse. Let's go to the next one. 334. Who wants to read this? Kajal Mataji, you have a question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, just in relation to what you said that जब हम अपने डिजायर्स को ज्यादा करेंगे तो हम आग में घी के डालने का काम कर रहे हैं.
Yes.
But I read recently, something in Bhagavatam about King Yayati's story.
Yes.
He got cursed by Shukracharya,
Yeah.
and then he was trying to exchange his youth with one of his sons.
Yes.
And Yadu refused.
Yes.
And the reason he gave was that he should enjoy for some time.
Yes.
That in the later part of his life, he doesn't have that desire.
Yes. And that's a
Even in the-
valid proposal. Materially speaking, that's a valid proposal.
But Prabhuji, isn't that a bit contradictory on what we are discussing?
Yeah. So this is what we are saying. So this is a pure devotional platform we are talking. You should put your Prakriti for serving Krishna. But what Yadu said to Yayati Maharaj, that was a very materially motivated statement. Lord Ram did not say to Dashath Maharaj, what are you doing? I have full right on my kingdom. And Lakshman actually was fully with Lord Ram. Not even with Lord Ram, he was against Lord Ram as well. He said, even if you don't agree, I will enthrone you tomorrow. I'll behead this person. He's talking to Dashath. I will behead this person with my sword. I'll send him to the abode of Yamraj. No one can stop you to become king tomorrow. I will help you. I will stand in front of you. Anyone comes, including this old man. He said to Dasharatha as old man, not as his father. So these statements you can understand, Mata. Yeah, they exist in the material realm. So everyone wants to enjoy. Everyone wants to say, okay, bhakti old age में करेंगे. So अभी तो young हैं, youth हैं. अभी तो life को enjoy करना. Why are you going to temple? Why are you chanting and all these things? But we understand there's a material aspect, there's devotional aspect. Material aspect, yes, people say like that. Devotional aspect, we should start devotion from soul's level. Prad Maharaj says in Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.1, Kaumaram Acharet Pragyo. You should start your devotion life from a very, very early age. There's no time for enjoyment. And while we are serving, we get the best enjoyment. By serving Gopinath or by serving Radha and Krishna, you get the best enjoyment, even materially. Prabhupada was asked once, what if Krishna does not exist? What if at the end of the life you realize Krishna is not there? Prabhupada said, that's fine. We live in the best houses. Like you see, Gopinath's temple is the richest one. You go to Melbourne, in Albert Park, this is the richest community in Melbourne. So Gopinath's temples are best, Prasadam is best, devotees are best. You live a best Satoguni lifestyle. Even Prabhupada said, if Krishna does not exist, we are living the best lifestyle actually. But what if Krishna exists? You will be in trouble. So Mataji, these statements are valid in material realm. And again, we are not pure devotees as yet. So we are in the journey and slowly, we are trying to dovetail our lust, greed, anger, and all those tendencies in Krishna Seva. So today you may dovetail 5%, tomorrow 6% and 7%. And one day we will be able to dovetail all our conditioned nature in Krishna's service 100%. Does that make sense, what you asked? Or I
Yes,
went
Prabhuji.
into a different direction?
Yes, Prabhuji. It was also in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that like sometimes even in Brahmacharya ashram, they are not recommended to take sannyas very early on.
Yeah,
There was something along those
absolutely.
lines.
So that's why we are in the journey. So even today we may have all the lust, greed, anger, everything, but Prabhupada said you don't have to stop eating meat or stop drinking alcohol. You start chanting Hare Krishna. So he's not asking you to, curb all your material tendencies from today. He's not saying that. You continue your material life, eat meat and drink alcohol and whatever else, but start chanting. Start adding Krishna to your life. What will happen even if you add Krishna a little bit in your life, 5 minutes a day, that will give you strength to counteract those negative activities which you are continuing. And slowly, as Krishna expand, material activities will reduce, and one day they will come down to zero, and Krishna will take over your whole day and your whole life. So it's a journey. So negative things does exist, and we have enjoying mentality, we have proprietorship mentality. We can't deny that. That's why we are here. But right now, we are trying to dovetail a bit, and slowly and slowly and slowly. And as we become more mature, our material tendencies goes down, spiritual tendencies take over. And that's what happened in the case of Yadu and Yayati. And Pururava said, no, I'll follow. And he got the best of the best eventually, materially as well as spiritually. Yati gave on his own accord his age back, and he got Krishna as well. Yadu also got Krishna eventually, actually. Yadu, in his dynasty, Krishna appeared. He became a devotee later. Okay, is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Mata. Sakhi Radhika Mataji.
I have a question. It might sound a bit silly question, but I was just introspecting on this. Do we see in the case of all these big time devotees like Dashrath Maharaj, Bhishma Dev, and many others also, sometimes they take a vow and they are not ready to like say no to that vow, that prayer, that promise, even if adharma is happening. So I was thinking, are there some reasons? For example, is there that something will happen to them? Is it not false ego that I made the vow? Like, for example, if there is something higher, we generally keep the vow aside. That is because we are not so strong, also. But they were very strong. So, isn't some bottom line, it's the false ego, it is my vow higher than any even dharma? Like, how to understand this?
Yeah. So thank you, Mata. Mataji is referring to Bhishma's example in this case, which is so nice for all of us. A great message Bhishma is giving. Now, Bhishma is a very sort of controversial personality, but with all due regards, he's a great Mahajan. We just seeing his external life and we're trying to get some message. So from external perspective, as Mataji said, he has taken a vow, and even when adharma was happening, he had the ability to stop the adharma. He did not, because he had taken a vow. And even on the throne, I'll follow him. So Mataji, our acharyas say there are two types of ethics. One ethics is based on act-based ethics. Act-based means I will never do this, or I'll always do this. So Bhishma was into that category. Act-based ethics. I will always follow the Raja no matter what. Another one is, which devotees are supposed to follow, is consequence-based ethics. What is the consequence of following Raja? If Raja is adharmic, he is irreligious, I should not follow adharmic Raja. When he took a vow, he did not consider that Raja can be adharmic as well. So he took a vow with all the good intentions. He took a vow that I'll always fulfill whoever is on the throne. I will never sit on the throne. So he had a good intention. But later on, when the Raja himself became a dharmic, like Dhritarashtra, he's allowing his own son to disrobe a lady. Like, just imagine, even in Kali Yuga, I don't know which father will allow that. Maybe some father exists. But in Vedic culture, so that time, he should have taken a higher principle. That, my vow existed with all good intention, but when Raja is dharmic, his son is a dharmic, adharma is prevailing because of me, I don't want to be part of it. When Bhishma was lying on Vansaya, I heard in a lecture, he asked Krishna, Krishna, I've never performed any sin in my life. Why I'm suffering? Valid question. He had never performed even a single sin. Krishna responded, but Maharaj, you have seen a sin happening in which you had capacity to stop. Now, we also see many sins we don't have capacity to stop. We see many trucks going around. I see the truck and I chant Hare Krishna. I don't have capacity to stop the truck which is carrying all these animals, poor animals. Bhishma had so Krishna said, you have seen a sin. So seeing a sin is also a sin. FYI for all of us. Seeing a sin is also a sin. So Bhishma was happy with that. So Mataji, coming back to your original question, we should not have just act-based ethics that, yes, as you said, it's a false ego. Karna also had that false ego. Karna knew Kunti went, Krishna went, and Karna said, no, I made a promise with my friend. Are your friend is a Pakistan. How are you going to shelter your friend who's sheltering this terrorism? So you made, with good intention, you said, okay, you are my friend, I'll follow you. But then your friend is doing adharma and you know about it. No, I'll follow. Krishna is coming in front of you saying you can become the king. Even if materially speaking, the proposal was too good to get refused. Materially speaking also, huh? But he denied. So this is the first category, act-based ethics, which many of the examples in Shastra are telling us we should not do that. And as you correctly said, it was their false ego. They chose actually an inferior path, although their intention was to go to a higher path. Higher path is, what's the verse in 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam? Where Krishna's verse is dharma. Whatever Krishna speaks, that's dharma. Anyone remembers that verse? I'm just not getting the first word. Whatever Krishna says, that is dharma. And whatever Krishna says, don't do, that's adharma. No matter what your books are saying. Yudhishthira also followed, in one sense, not followed Krishna. Krishna said, lie. Yudhishthira said, how can I lie? And they say Yudhishthira's chariot was never touching the ground. After that instance, Yudhishthira's chariot was touching the ground. Some mundane people say because he lied. But our Gaudiya Vaishnavas say, no, not that he lied. He did not follow Krishna's instruction immediately as it is. But when he told Arjun, shoot Bhishma, Arjun shot Bhishma. Arjun shoot Jayadratha, Arjun shot He did not say, Are Krishna, aapne to trick kar diya. You tricked Jayadratha. No, shoot. No questions asked. So Krishna's words are dharma. Is that okay? Yeah. Thank you. Now, one, I will not take another question. Let's go to Sanjay Vyas Prabhu's question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, I didn't have a question actually. When Sakhi Radhika Mataji was sharing her father's description, I just remembered something that. So I thought I'll just share this because it was in line that when we do Vrindavan Parikrama, we come across a site called Pani Ghat, and a very nice pastime took place in Pani Ghat, and that was that Radharani and all the gopis wanted to cross over to Panigaon, which of course you can just drive now, but back at that time the Yamuna was a lot wider, so you had to cross over, but there were no boats. And so Radharani asked Krishna, how can I cross over? And so Krishna whispered, so this is in the Vraj Mandal Parikrama book, this Leela is described. So Krishna whispered in her ear, this is how you can cross. And Radharani went to the bank of the Yamuna and she said, Krishna the Brahmachari. And immediately the Yamuna, she parted and revealed a shallow path across the river. And the point made in that sort of Leela was that Krishna has a spiritual body and we cannot understand it with our material senses. And that's why it is said, Atah Shri Krishna Namadi Na Bhavit Prayam Indriya Sevan Mukha Jivadahu Swam Eva Spuratyada. That you start to understand Krishna when you perform devotional service. So any person who is not performing devotional service, they will just continue to do tark vitark. They will never be able to understand how Krishna is Atmaram, as Mataji was describing. So that just came to my mind as
very nice.
Yes.
Just on a lighter note, Sanjay Vyas Prabhuji's story is I heard in a little different way. I'll explain this. It's very nice. One time, Durvasa Rishi came actually in Vrindavan, and gopis were supposed to make some prasad for Durvasa Rishi and deliver to him. So he was on the other side of Jamuna.
Yeah,
so
it's the same.
Yeah. So Krishna, they asked Krishna, how can we cross Krishna? So Krishna said, just go and tell Jamuna, I'm a brahmachari, and if Krishna is brahmachari, she will give you the way. And they started laughing at Krishna. You brahmachari? You are a lampat.
Yeah.
So they started laughing. Krishna said, okay, you can try. And they never believed Krishna, just in a lighter, humorous story version.
Yes,
and they never
Leela,
believed
I
Krishna.
just skipped over
Yeah,
the Durvasa.
yeah, you kept it simple. So they went to Yamuna and said, no, Yamuna is never going to give us the way today. And she said, Yamuna, Krishna is if Krishna is brahmachari, give us the way. And Yamuna immediately gave the way. And they're like, what? Anyway, they had to go and serve. So they went and served Durvasa Rishi, and they had lot of prasadam made for Durvasa Rishi. And Durvasa Rishi actually ate everything. And now they had to go back. They asked Durvasa Rishi, how can we cross Yamuna? And they said, if I'm a Durvasa, then give us the way. Durvasa, one meaning of Durvasa is, many meanings are there. One who subsides on dub grass, on grass. If I subsides on grass, then give us the way. So they think, abhi itna khaya hai. He's just eaten so much and he's living on doob. Anyway, Durvasa Rishi has said. So they came back and they said the same statement what Durvasa Rishi has said. And Yamuna gave the way. So they came to Krishna and said, neither you are a brahmachari nor he is living on doob. How do we understand? And as Sanjay Vyas, his body is spiritual. In Dwarka, from each queen, he had 10 sons and 1 daughter. But he said they never touched each other. They never touch because they are special. Huh? They're not like normal human beings to produce a santan. Husband wife have to come together. So Krishna had that. 10 sons, what 100 sons can come, no problem. Yeah, something on that. Yeah. Thank you, Sanjay Vyas Prabhuji, for sharing, and thank you, Sakiratika Mataji. Okay, it's 9:05. Let's stop here.